All right, well, here goes nothing, or maybe something.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The O2 Radio Network.
Well, there's audio coming from something. I mean, this was all. That's what happens when you are involved in a big party, over at the old Tube Radio Network, and then you think you have everything set up, and you come in and things are different. Anyway, hello radio, and I hope you can hear me over. The band is cooperating. We don't have a lot of skip going on. Hopefully there are some stations out there, probably a lot of stations like myself, attending various Halloween fairs and parties that we had here at the studio. But I ran into the air chair to do the thing that we always do on Saturday evening, and that is the Old Tube Radio Network. Australia coming through. The DX map is probably showing a little bit, but not as much as it normally would. Anyway, I will let me see if I've got the map settings. Yeah, not much going on there at the map, so that's okay. But we'll start with the roll call so we can get through that and maybe check in a couple radios and let people get to where they need to go, whether they might be there already or not. Are there any stations that need to check in early? I am listening over. 195, I hear you through the noise, over. Okay, yeah, my receive isn't doing as well. I think I'm on the right antenna. Maybe that's the first thing I should check.
Go to R24 trying to get in.
All right, had to find my mouse, fell off the table. You are sounding good, Joseph. I've got you checked in.
Have a good night, Dennis.
The break OTR, go ahead, over.
Good evening, Dennis. I'd like to check in early. You got the Legend Bel Air 53 checking in there.
All right, sounds good. We've got 195, we've got 24, and the Legend, SWL. It is a Legend. It says right here when I check you in, SWL 53. Have a great evening there, Bel Air.
Yeah, 10-4, yeah, right back here, brother. Take care, 73.
This is Dennis, over. All right. I try to do my best, and I would return the compliment to all the stations, yourself included, that have been here with us for, almost coming up 40 years. I can't believe that. And the stations joining us via the video, the new video thing and the audio thing and whatever. But we are here for any, like they say on the check-in, any and all check-ins. And if you've got a radio, great. If you don't, listen in and get one. We'll check in. All right. Thanks for that. Anybody else that needs an early check-in? I can hear you. Who is that? Over. All right, 60. I will get you checked in over here on page 3 that I just had in front of me moments ago. All right, we've got you checked in. Over. All right, I've got Joe Hustler. Who is that? For some reason, my receive is not that great today. I think I've got to move the headphones. Who else is that? All right, 96. Dennis, I've got you. Mr. Prune Picker out there in the ditch banks of Kerman. Over. Let me get on the list here. Yeah, for some reason in my headphoniums, I am super loud, and the radio is less than loud. Let me go to the big list. 00, that is SWL71 Stan, who is probably out there. It's one of the big contests going on this weekend. It was a CQ Worldwide that is making 10 meters here in stations on 500, 600, 700. So there are a lot of stations out there enjoying the really good conditions that we've been having. Check in for SWL number 1, SWL number 2, Mr. OBP, who is out there and saying anything could happen tonight, right? We've got solar flux, sunspot numbers, A indices. Cycle 25 is perhaps at its peak. They're not sure yet. The jury's not out on cycle 25. It's better than they predicted. Definitely better than they predicted, but they're not sure where it's going to go. Anyway, Kevin, thanks for being there. If you want to say hello to Mr. OBP, he is on the video chat. I've got a check-in for Rob, SWL number 3. SWL 5, Mr. Rainmaker. And Levon is there from the Hudson Valley of New York. Wishing everyone a happy Saturday. Probably also listening in over at Old Radio Night. I was so busy, I came in so late, I did not get a chance to stop by Old Radio Night tonight. So we will check in with them, check in with the Old Radio Night stations shortly. Going to pop up the REA meter just to make sure that I've got some output, some items of interest. Maybe too much, I don't know. I'll try not to talk too loudly. Let's go to SWL 7.
SWL 7, checking in.
All right, got you checked in. Sounding good. Hopefully you can hear me. Over.
No problem. Loud and proud.
Okay. Well, let's see. If I didn't have my noise blanker on, you would sound a lot better. All right. To fix that problem, let's go to SWL 10. And Chrissy out there is right there. The Jumping Dolphins, SWL 10 and 30, are checking in. That's a good thing. That's a good thing on a Saturday evening. Also checking in SWL 11 and SWL 12. Dan and Dapper Dan, Cornbread, Dapper Dan, looking good. I've got, if I put the picture back up for those who are watching the supposed reported video. I was out in my Invo's Woody costume, and what is that? They said there's a hat. There's a hat that goes with it, but because I have these headphoniums, that's where, the hat doesn't go on all the way, because I've got the headsets. But there you go. Now there's more to this, but you can't see the full costume. I even got the little ring. Can you see that? There's a little ring. No, you can't. There's a little ring thing you pull in back, and the star and the badge and everything else. But I am ready to go for OTR 11 and 12. I get the right numbers. I'll get you checked in. SWL 13. Mr. Cobra, looking for Mike. He will be there. He will check in at oldtuberadio.net, which one can do. I am checked in now. Let's see if we can hear from Sangertown. Hello, 14. All right, you're sounding good. I have extra noise tonight, but you are, and that's like my local noise, but you are making it through that with no problems. Over. All right, very good. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out why my receiver is failing me today. I shouldn't have that much noise. So sounding good. Looks like you will have a radio to check in for us. Over to SWL 15, where it's never noisy. out there near Copenhagen. I don't think it is. Alpha 173, probably doing some good DX work. It is, let's see, for you guys in the evenings, probably as the sun is going down, you might be able to hear the East Coast and West Coast of the US of A. We're looking good. Yeah. Ray said he heard Sanger barely at 14. I have noise tonight because normally Sean is much louder than that, and much more present in the receiver. So we'll see. Maybe I've got some local things going on here. SWL 16. Hello, radio. Hello, Charlie. Anoka, Minnesota, and all the ships at sea. Top of the evening. Love the outfit. Well, that's good. And what do you have? You are saying you have something for me. All right. Let me see if I can reach over where you are. And what is that? This? Oh, all right. Is this another costume? Charlie has just given me a thing wrapped up here. Oh, from Bob. All right. Had this made months ago. Let's see what it is here. The Old Tube Radio Network. It's for my Halloween place. It looks like. All right, here you go. And I think this is a T-shirt. It's as big as a flag. Just so we don't forget. Do not forget. There it is. Don't forget to feed the fish. This is, what size is this? This is like an extra. A 3XL. Yeah, I'm gonna run this up. Ouch! I'm gonna run this up on the flagpole. I'll certainly fit. We can fit 2 net controllers in this. I'll have to post this somewhere. Don't. We will not forget to feed the fish. Over. Yeah, for those of you who don't have the video, I have a 3 extra large size T-shirt with a couple of fish. It says, "Don't forget to feed the fish." So hopefully that'll work. I like the way it moves the white balance. All right, let's put that up. I should hang that in the back somewhere. That should be up all the time. Well, thanks. Thanks, Charlie. Thanks to Bob and Steve and all the ships at sea. Let's go to SWL 17. Yeah, and Chrissy, you've got the right thought. A little merchandising for the Old Tube Radio Network. I might be able to afford good equipment if we did that. SWL 18, I've got a check-in for Mikey, Mr. KDA. I didn't look on the list. We've got up on the balcony, Liberty Lake, hello to you. Fresno, Dallas, Georgia, coming up to you. Anchorage, Alaska, Tyler's in there somewhere. And he's on Echolink. All right, I think the Echolink link is working, so we'll get a chance to talk to Tyler coming up. Middletown, Ohio, Centerville, Virginia, Yellow Springs, Ohio. Hans is there, Plymouth, Minnesota, Fresno, California, and right in the front, the guy we're checking in next from Derby, New York, Belfast, Maine. SWL 19, Chet. What do you think? Oh, and there goes the mouse on the floor. I may not make it through the net tonight between all the weird technical difficulties. What's that? Chet says he has something for me too. All right, let me grab it from you. Oh, we got 2 things. All right. We're never going to get to the radios. What do we got here? He has Novelty World. Am I supposed to wear this? Novelty World. That's it when I go incognito tonight. I think Harvey should wear this. I've seen Harvey wearing that. All right, that's good. Thank you. And what else? Another T-shirt. We have now this one. I could probably wear this from. Oh, all right. Now this is good. We'll talk to Mr. JT. Old Radio Night. Now this. Speaking of merchandise, I think these are available. The Old Radio Night T-shirts. Thank you, Chad. ORN. That it came in special delivery. Old Radio Night with the Courier Royale. All right, and that's my color. I like that color. All right, I'll hang that up as well. Old Radio Night going on now. We'll check in with JT here in a moment. 19 is in SWL 20.
Number 20 here. Please check in 29 and 54 also. And I'll have a couple of radios of interest possibly.
definitely this one. And I will get back a little later tonight.
All right, Harvey, could you take a transmission again? I just realized my receive audio was low, so say hello radio again.
Hello, radio again. I'll have a radio of interest tonight, this particular one, and maybe another. We'll see if time permits. And is that a long enough transmission for you?
No, it's a perfect transmission. All right. So my apologies to SWLs. I think the audio is now matching between everybody. I don't know. All this stuff gets, I guarantee you, and Harvey's been out there, all this stuff gets set up way before the net starts. And then when I sit into the air chair, such that it is, it all seems to be undone. So I don't know if maybe Pink, maybe Kitty is getting in and doing something. I don't know. All right. We got you checked in, Harvey. You are sounding good.
Roger. I will check this radio in a little later. Thank you.
All right, because we will be doing the radio check-ins come up a little bit later. Let's go over to, and I think I may have, I don't like to precurse anything, video here from ORN, Old Radio Night. Let me pop it in. Put the, let me go to the big screen here. I think we can do a little bit better job. Oh, I see myself. I'm there on the big screen from moments ago. Yeah, there we go. The Old Radio Night. So, Mr. JT, I got audio. Let me turn on audio. This is going to be bad because it's going to be feedback, but here we go.
Don't listen to Harvey. Don't let me hear. Get off of Harvey.
All right, we're off of Harvey. All right, we've got audio now. So there you go. I don't know what the delay is tonight. So take a transmission. There's the Demco bell, which you got to ring. You got to ring that bell a couple of times last week when we had the Demco radio. And so I'm waiting for the delay to come around so that Mr. JT can check and say hello radio. And where's our, where did I put it? Here we go. Okay, so here he's going to be coming in here. I know this never works out well, does it? It's just, it's like looking at yourself in the mirror.
All right, hey, Jed, go ahead and check in. Good, check in.
Turn the audio down so we get feedback. Am I still on? Yeah, we're still on. You're in Fresno, California. Listening to, and the video is starting to go into the multiple mode here. All right, we got you checked in. I heard you there, JT. So we're going to get out of the Old Radio Night feedback loop. And there's 183 checking in, thank you. And we'll drop the audio to get rid of the feedback loop. All right. That makes me exhausted. Just trying to figure out how to do that stuff. From ORN, live and direct, another East Coast, West Coast link-up. Where does that ever happen on your Citizen Band radio? Let's go to Tyler. Let me see. Tyler's on Echolink, so hold on. All right, Tyler is on Echolink, so we'll see if we can get him. KL5TW. Hello, Tyler, from Kilowatt Bravo 6, Germany, France, Denmark. Take a transmission. See if we can roust Tyler up on Echolink here.
Goodness, good hearing you out there, good seeing you out there. Had some good conditions today. Unfortunately, they just fell out when right about the net round. Couldn't get the old to you. KL5 Tango Whiskey.
Yeah, I noticed the conditions we normally have on the Pacific dropped out early. It's getting darker. It wasn't really loud, so, and I've heard you before on the pre-program net part of it, but you're sounding good now. Got you checked in. Glad to have you aboard with us here on the Old Tube Radio Network. And thanks for jumping in on the Echo Link 73 KB6 GFD. All right, good to hear Tyler. I mean, if we get some E-skip,
73s, have a good evening.
Tyler will be in direct with no problem. Back to the audio board here. SWL 23, Mr. 23 Skidoo. Get 22 in. I think Mitch is adjusting the satellite link, and I did hear that since we're close to Halloween, Espresso Trucking Company on their way back to wherever they were going to and coming to will stop by here tonight and reprise their infamous song that you can only hear right on the old Tube Radio Network. Captain Robert, hello radio, I like the pumpkins. Trying to check in. Have a safe Halloween. It's safe as it is. Everyone's going to avoid me dressed like this there, Captain Robert, but I'm sure yours will go much better than mine. 23 checked in, 24 checked in moments ago, SWL 25. I've got a check-in for 25 from, I don't know if it was Facebook. Anyway, it says check 25 in, which I will do. Let's go to SWL 27. SWL 28. And I'm checking. I'm not looking at the right places here. Yes, I agree. Jim says that time traveling is cool. Were we to... I feel younger. I think I went back in time there a little bit. SWL 28. Hello, Gary. I'm sure you guys had a cool day like we did. I don't even know if it made 70 degrees here in Fresno. Happy Halloween. 28 checking in. He's going to enjoy the program here, the net here, with Cold Orange Crush. One of my favorites. That'll turn your tongue orange. Some Orange Crush and candy corn. Eat them by the dozen. Well, that is a lot of orange, but the orange is okay during Halloween. Now you got me hungry for both. Maybe not at the same time. But I'm going to have to go out and, candy corn is plenty. It's easy to find this time of year. Orange Crush, I don't know. I haven't seen Orange Crush in a long time. I'm just not looking. Thanks, Gary. We've got a check-in for Mr. Loner, and we've got a check-in for Dwayne in Idaho, who is at the ready with the various radios in case things open up. SWL 31, SWL 32. Shortwave listener 33, myself, Bosa Control. Everybody's at the party. I had to run out there, so it's going to be kind of quiet. Except Charlie and Chet, always right here, keeping me informed, giving me T-shirts and stuff, and pointing and saying, "Don't do that, do that, do this." How about SWL 34? Mr. Railroader, Jimmy, are you there? Did I miss you? He'll be in. Hello, if you're watching from, is it Chicagoland, CB Radio? The group out that way? Give a big X in the square. Mr. Bill, Red Monkey Communications, in moments ago. If I could scroll my item there, and Bill was checking in almost about an hour ago from Cool Cheyenne. Yeah, we're sending cool weather your way. I guess they got some snow all the way already up in over the Donner Pass, so it's getting cool out there. SW got you checked in, Mr. Bill. SWL 36. SWL 37.
SWL 37 here in Dennis. We had a good week this week.
It's good to have a good week, and I hope there are more in the store. You sound good, over.
Oh, yeah, well, we had Europe coming in here. Ray and I both was talking to, Ireland. We had France in there. We had England in there. But yeah, we definitely had a good week. And I mean, off of Well, it was up at 439. It was good.
Yeah, 10 meters has been good in the morning. It is their evening. It's the evening over there, so they're coming into the gray line. And you can kind of listen as the countries kind of come and go as the sun goes away. Then France, and then Germany, and then Spain, and England, and Ireland, Scotland. I talked to an Ireland station all in the morning, coming in on 11. 10 meters has been open. It's really open today because there was a contest. So, yeah, we are in that nice sweet spot on cycle 25 where the solar flux index and the sunspot numbers and the A index all kind of jive. You are sounding good, and I've got you checked in, Chris.
Absolutely. Yeah, we did get Ireland, Scotland, England, and Italy, and then there was Paris and France. But yeah, I didn't get France. I just got a word in that was about it. I think I made it. I'm not sure. But the other ones doing real good in Ireland and the other one there. 7 by 9.
All right, sounding good. What do they say? I see Paris, I see France, I see. Never mind. Sounding good. Was there a breaking station for OTR? Go ahead. Nothing heard. I want to say, let me get a couple of check-ins that are here right now, in case they have to go. SWL 67. The internet is down, but somehow I see you. I hear you there, Bill. So we've got Canby, Oregon. SWL 99, Randy. No, there are no conditions. We had the usual conditions from the Pacific Islands, which I think have sort of gone away. So I haven't noticed that we have any southwest, northwest things going on. So pretty quiet right now. I will quickly pop on the DX map here just to confirm or deny that we are a little bit. In fact, that's down in your area, 17, 19. So where you're at, you can run 20 meters, maybe 15. Not quite up high enough here to do anything. Also, let me check in SWL 79, Phil, just in Mr. DC, just in case. Who else did I see jumping in here? I think we're good. Oh, Jimmy. How can I forget Jimmy? We got the Chicago contingent in and accounted for, and I have the less than stellar train whistle. See if I can do this without messing up the compressors. There you go. I don't have the effects to go with that, so. Railroader is checked in. Let's continue on with SWL 38. Thank you, Ray. You filled in the missing words that I was not allowed to say due to FCC restrictions. The FCC, remember the days they used to fine you because your antenna was too high, you had idle chit-chat, you were not using your call signs? Now I don't know. I don't know what they ding you for now. Probably blowing your whistle on at 5 watts. I don't know. Let's go to SWL 39. Central Arkansas checking in. Thank you, Rusty Rails. Looking good here on the Old Tube Radio Network. SWL 40. Who else is all sorts of people? Alpha Kilo 295. UDX 483, Mud Bucket. Let's go to SWL 41. There's Sam. Maybe next time. Yeah, we don't even have your 10.5 gurus out there. Sam checks in with relays from Australia and Hawaii when the conditions are in, although we are trying to the direct stuff. I don't know. I heard Motormouth Ball. I heard him direct. On Channel 6, he's always way down. So I don't know if it's a backscatter thing, because the channel's really noisy, or if it's just beaming, with brute force on his antenna and whatever. But I did hear him live and direct on Channel 6. I also had someone pin my meter. Actually pin the meter. That has never ever happen. So I just kind of can only imagine what kind of power is going on that frequency. Let's see. Let's go to SWL 42. Yeah, no, eSkip would do it, although we're still pretty close for eSkip. SWL 43. SWL 44, Mr. 360. The break OTR, go ahead, over. All right, 61 through the static, and probably most of it caused by me. Hello, Dino, I got you checked in, over. All right, making through the static, and jumping up and down. All right, up there in the balcony. They have those little laser beam lights they shine to get my attention. Ray, I see you. You always sound good. You always sounds good on the Ditch Banks sideband net, because it's sideband and not AM. So what it is. Although, you know, I am transmitting double sideband right now. Most stations are. So we're doing our own sideband, but we're adding a carrier. So that kind of changes the game. All right, Ray, got you checked in. SWL 45, Paul and Kelly, if you are listening, got a big X in the square up there in North Fork, where it is. I'm sure you've got the fireplace, the wood stove going. It was cold. It's cold right now. It was cold last night. It's going to stay that way for a while. Let's go to shortwave listener 46. SWL 47. SWL 48. Shortwave listener 49. I'm going to get a proxy in for Smitty and Sweet Country Mama. I will do that. SWL 50. SWL 51. I will check. Dave may have checked in on the video side. I'll make sure he's there, because I would hear him. I've got my volume up now, so I can hear Sangertown.
That'll work.
Oh, I think we have an item of interest. I think I have an item of interest out there. Hello, radio. Hello, 47, KB6GFD.
You couldn't hear me?
I can hear you, over. Yeah, so I got 47 is checked in on the crossband, over.
Wait a minute. Why is the 11 meters not working?
Well, that's why we could go multipath here on the old Tube Radio Network, just in case. Like my 11 meters wasn't working earlier at the beginning of the net, but you are sounding good, and we got you checked in, over.
All right, we're going to have to chat about that perhaps later. I can hear you perfectly. I can hear myself perfectly on 11 meters. Well, that's a mystery.
All right, well, this is the mystery frequency. Shortwave listener 47 checked in via the crossband. It's a mystery to me that that's actually working. At least that's coming in okay. Directed net roll call, the old Tube Radio Network. We will have some real radios, I hope, glowing in the dark, perhaps, coming up after the roll call. Streaming at oldtuberadio.net for audio pleasure. For video pleasure, there's a link you can click on, and there's a lot of people out there watching me on the small screen, or maybe the big screen. Don't worry, we'll have some radios. You don't have to look at me coming up. Let's go to 51. Dave, are you there? SWL 52.
Good evening, Dennis, and all the SWLs out there. SWL 52 in the chair, and
All right, you are sounding good. I think I heard you. Did I hear you on 10? I might have heard you on 10 meters this week. I bet you were out there, time permitting, or was it 40? Anyway, you're sounding good. The radio is working, over.
Oh, very good. Yeah, been making contact on 10 meters. It's been a lot of fun, and then all those contacts that got in there and busted up, but that's okay. work some extra islands and stuff that aren't normally active. But yeah, Friday afternoon I got to talk to New Zealand for a good 5 to 7 minutes, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, the conditions have been good, so enjoy it. Hopefully it'll last through this year, through next year. Give us all a chance to get our stations up and running, get our licenses if we don't have them, if that's what you want to do, and have some, what do they say, Foxtrot Uniform November on Armature Radio. Thanks for checking in.
Roger.
52 is in. 53 checked in earlier on the early roll call. 54 with a proxy check-in. Over to SWL 55. From the land of sky blue waters, gazebo gardens, and just about anything else. SWL 56.
And all points in between.
And there are a lot of points in between. Mr. Grandpa, you are sounding good as always. Checking in for the, I don't know, you're up to, you're like a couple of the other stations. You're up to about 1 million check-ins, I think. All right, 56 looking good. Let's go to SWL 57, Mr. Brown Dog Audio from Central Kentucky. Refreshing my page. It wasn't to where it needed to be. Colorado, the most amusing character. Yeah, if the costume fits, wear it. And hopefully we will not get some, you know how YouTube is, get some Disney copyright things. And you can't show this because that's a copyright violation to look like some Disneyland, some Disney movie character. Where am I? 57. I was looking for Mr. Brown Dog Audio. Let's see if SWL 58 is around. It'd be nice to get some Skip from Tennessee. SWL 59 is indeed there. Uncle Hairball, live from his, was he? I'm not sure. I think he was playing the theremin tonight, or the calliope over on Old Radio Night, but he is here on the Old Tube Radio Network, and not forgetting to feed the fish. So 59 is in. SWL 60 checked in prior to the roll call here. Thank you, Joe. Moments ago, SWL 61, Copenhagen. Dean beaconing in from far off, and he sounded pretty good. Over to SWL 62. SWL 63. SWL 64. I didn't check. Sometimes Craig will check in earlier, but right now he is right there. He's got all the Halloween accoutrements on the little icons, the emojis, or whatever they're called. Anyway, Craig, you are sounding good, looking good, checked in. I want to say hello to some of our other stations that go by. I did get Mr. Mudbucket. Mark 183. Mark Sandquist, thank you. Ray is in. Got Ray checked out. Oh, there's Neil, 147. Let me get Kakalaki checked in before it scrolls off my screen. What's going on, Neil, in here? Decent conditions. Everybody says decent conditions in the East Coast. Above 27,385. I imagine there were probably good conditions on 27,385. It's just there was 400 people all keying up at the same time. UK and Europe in the mornings. That is their gray line, I do believe. All right, 147 got you checked in. Thank you. Alpha Kilo 295. If I did say hello to you. I think I did. I'm saying hello now. Got a record of it somewhere. See if there's anybody checking in early. I saw 69 was in, so I'll make sure I get that. Tracy, all right, early check-in for 98. Let me get Tracy in there. He actually checked in last night on the, I could hear him pretty well on the Ditch Banks sideband There is something about that channel 36 lower on Fridays that everybody comes in well. And 102, I see you checking in, John. I'll get you checked in now. Were you to need an early check-in, but feel free to come in moments when I grab your number once again. I just want to make sure I've got everybody that came in earlier because I was having my little audio issue. Hello, Albert and the gang up there. We will try. I haven't checked the uplink link tonight. They're going out to dinner to eat, so yeah, we'll try at the end of the at the net here, up on the link up. Okay, there is 57. All right, Brown Dog Audio 57 checking in early, so I knew I might have missed somebody in case you fall asleep. That can happen, especially if you are not on the West Coast. It's hard enough to stay awake. I'll give you a check-in on the West Coast here at the right time. All right, I think we're doing good. So let me go back and there you go. They're having drag races here down at the swimming pool. SWL, I know where I'm at now. SWL 65. SWL 66. And I did get Bill 67. Bill, we got you. Looking good. Yeah, you're still on the list, of course. SWL 68. Got an early check-in for New York 157. And likewise for Kenny out there in Tulsa. Hello, Ken, 69. Thanks for joining us. Everybody says hello to Kenny. Used to be out here checking in live and direct. And Larry is in the Radio Shack tonight from Iowa, the Magic Oz. There is no place like home, especially if you're on 11 meters, 40 meters, 2 meters, wherever you're at. Larry, thanks for joining us tonight on the Old Tube Radio Network. SWL 70. Where is Mark? Just wonder if he's able to get his antenna turned on. Let me get Snow Beast Jr. because I do see him on there. So if you're away from the radio there, Bobby, I've got you checked in. Or maybe your antenna's pointed to Never Neverland shooting the skip. So there's 188. Thanks for jumping by here on the video side. Over to SWL 71, also AKA 00. And Sam was listening in, Stan was listening in rather. I wanted to update my list and see what was going on. Okay. 7100 checking in 10 meters was great today for the contest. Yes, it was. Stan, this is the first time, and I know the band is open. Every day it's open, but you get to that, that gate at 28,500, there's 3 stations. Today it was like the old times. There's stations from 5 to 600, 600 up to 700. I didn't hear any AM, but it just leads me to believe that the band is always open. You just got to have people out there that want to use it. Plus, maybe with all that RF stirring up the, EFD, all those layers, all those ionospheric layers, maybe it makes things sound good. Maybe it makes the conditions better. But anyway, it was good for the contest. He says he almost ran out of SSB band when I made a DX. Wow, 28,990. Well, you beat me. I didn't listen up that high. I was listening at 29. But yeah, I heard lowly stations up at 28,750, calling CQ and hoping that somebody remembers that that's part of the 10-meter band and or are looking at their 21st century band scopes and saying, I bet that's somebody. All right, good, Stan. Well, you know what? I should be able to hear you on 10 meters at some point before the cycle goes away. Sounding good. Thanks for checking in. And as they say, good luck in the contest. I think, what am I, an 03, and you're definitely 5'9". Let's go to SWL 72.
72
Radio Boy, you are sounding good. Got you checked in right here on a Saturday evening on the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks for stopping by. SWL 73. Got a proxy check in for SWL 74. And were I to be able to find my screen here, that's the one I want. Oops. Strange things going on. I want to check the REA meter to make sure that we are still beaconing at the proper levels here, not doing anything horrendously awful. That's your RF output. That's out of the transmitter, what you're looking at there on the REA meter. Hitting it a little hard, but not bad. The Orban meter is your audio levels, and all of those should match. All the incoming sources should be around about the same, where everybody to have the same level. So it's a good indication that somebody is loud, somebody's not loud, or somebody's just where they need to be. Let's go to, and I know this guy's here because he was like the first one on the chat window. SWL 76, Red Fox 1. And I will get out there in Johnson, Rhode Island. Got you checked in and back right there on this 1959 realistic TRC 27A up and running. What do I have? A 23A. The 27A, is that the Americana? Does that have the word Americana on the front? I've got the original Navajo. I think it's a TRC 23B. I don't know. My very first radio. It is in the shelf. It's all up here in the original box. I have to bring it out. I guess it works. I don't know. SWL 77. Somebody said proxy Mr. 1017. I will do that. SWL 78, hello, Wild Wildemar. Not sure Richards and Wild Wildemar are possibly remoting up in the northwest. I'll get Richard a proxy check in. SWL 79, Philip, if you're there, take a transmission. Otherwise, I do have you checked in.
79, check it in.
All right. I knew you might be there. I don't know if you're dressed like your favorite Halloween character, but you're sounding good.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. DC. Let's go to SWL 80. Page 4. Well, the big red limo was out and about helping with some Halloween fair, doing some decorating over at the Pavarello house, and it was full of pumpkins. I couldn't even get in the back seat. They had the whole thing full of pumpkins, distributing them around the various places here so that everybody gets a little bit of seasonal October cheer. So, you know, and then when I came back, the inside did not smell like pumpkin. So they cleaned it up pretty well. Let's go to SWL 81. SWL 82. I'll get Ron checked in, doing whatever he does. Ron is the net controller and voice of the Ditchbanks sideband net. You can hear that on Friday evenings, 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, I guess for another week until we switch back on 36th lower 27365. And always a good group there, and you can check in wherever you are. There's a place for visitors and first-time check-ins, and good to hear everybody out there on sideband. Let's go to SWL 83. And 11 in Honolulu is I don't know. I'm not hearing the mini grass. Did they roll up the ocean? That's what helps them out. All that salt water when they drive their mobile radios, put the back tires right there in the sand. Jerry was sounding good, Mr. Cheerios Kid, on the noontime net this week, so we'll get the group checked in. SWL 84, SWL 86, shortwave listeners 87 and 88. The Cheerios Kid, the Mountain Maid, Tandy Girl, and Snowy Owl, respectively. Let's go over to SWL 90. Then way over to that other coast, SWL 91. Hello, Felix. Saying hello, of course, to Net Control, the shortwave listeners, and all the OTR operators. And we have appropriate little icons for everything, even the scary one. I'm not going to look at that one right next to the pumpkin and the bows. I don't want to get scared. Let's go to, thank you, Felix. Let's go to SWL 92. Yeah, the TRC X23. I think that's the Americana. There's got a name on it like that. SWL 93. 777. Hello, Jimmy. Let's head over to, or down to, or up to, wherever it is, up to Florida, SWL 95. SWL 97. I know Jim is in there. Let me put the X in the square for Boston 97. SWL 98, Tracy, I heard you last night. Saw your post today. We'll get the X in the square. If you out there, might try saying hello. Maybe I'll hear you. Randy stopped by a little bit earlier to see if we had any type of conditions on the west coast to the short hop to Phoenix. Didn't quite happen yet tonight, but we'll see. I know Dwayne and Chrissy are standing by as we get some north-south skib. The Echo link is still up and running. So were I to have the right things clicked, we'll try an Echo link and see what is happening in beautiful McClellanville, South Carolina. KD4BAO, KB6GFD, hello radio. Check in with Tony. He is getting ready to listen to the tube radios.
Dennis, please check in SWL. Good to hear you tonight. Back to Net Control, KD4BAO.
All right, 73, you're sounding good. We've got you checked in, and we are getting ready to warm up the tubes. KB6GFD. Tubes on the air will not be far away. I checked in this station earlier just because I could, but I will check him in one more time. From Scranton, Arkansas, SWL 102. Hello, John. Big X in the square. But this is the official one, and I think somewhere up above my shoulder it says that you are officially checked in. Shortwave listener 103. SWL 109. I will get James, I'll get Mr. Crawdad checked in because he is a busy guy. He's probably at some Saturday evening function somewhere. So if he watches the replay, he will know that he's checked in. SWL 13, Mikey, Mr. Cobra, I see you on the list now that I have my pages isn't refreshing. Or it's not auto-refreshing, but that's not a problem. I can press the little button and make it do that. So 13 is in. Thank you. SWL 110. Shortwave listener 111. And typically Robert will come by early check out the waters. I think in the next couple of weeks he will have success in getting in because we're going to change time and the skip will be going away. He said he wasn't making the stream, kind of quiet, but he is checking in. That was about 2 hours ago. Good timing. All right. Robert got you checked in. Let's go to Tom, SWL 113. And I heard Tom on, what net did I hear him on? Was it the early riser? I don't know. I'm going to get Tom checked in out of Sanger. A little closer to home, SWL 14. Hello, Wayne.
114, checking in.
Loud and clear as usual. I press the button and it sends an X in the square everywhere. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, Dennis.
Over to SWL 128 in Fairfax, Virginia. John is in. Last 3 days have been in the low 80s, really. We've been having our coolest weather ever. So I'm not sure what you would have in store for you, but it's definitely getting colder. It's the end of October, should be in the 60s. Yes. We got our little extra temperatures last week. So I think that's what you're getting, the last part of that. So you know it's going to change. So don't put that jacket away yet, John, but maybe there'll be some good shortwave listening conditions when the weather changes. Got you checked in. Thanks for stopping by. SWL 131. SWL 133. And someone told me to proxy in Dave out there in Northwest Fresno. I will do that. SWL 135.
Okay, if this thing's going to work, SWL 135 checking in.
Checking in and checked in. It is still working, still functioning, so I think it's going to be a good go for the tube radio list.
Let's hope so.
Let's see, who else? Who else has walked in the door here? Mid-Atlantic Radio Repair. I couldn't see your name tag. We can get everybody name tags. Mid-Atlantic Radio Repair likes the costume. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm the guy that you see at Disneyland dressed up like Woody. I can't do the hat. They gave me the hat, and because I'm not in the 21st century and have the earbuds, that's what would be going on. And there's more. There's like guns and things. I don't know, a little holster, whatever. But that's what we're doing here for this episode of the Old Tube Radio Network. Mid-Atlantic Radio Repair just fixed a D201 for a local op. Thanks to a good man in Ohio who sold me the needed RF gain control. Yeah, it's nice to have parts. Nice to have those parts radio. That's the problem with the real expensive radios, that sometimes you want to fix them, and then you don't have extra parts. So it's nice to find the right thing, or maybe you can still buy a replacement, 21st century part that fits in there. But somebody is happy on a D201. Maybe we'll hear it checking in to the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks for keeping the tube radios on the air. Let's go over to SWL 137. Shortwave listener 145. I will get Tony checked in. I have not been able to get on the Friday morning net.
145 checking in on Echo.
Oh, there he is. I didn't see Tony, and he is right there. Well, that's pretty good. I'm keyed up, and he comes through my radio. So if you hear me, Tony, you are checked in. All right, he has to. All right, he's checked in. He doesn't unkey his microphone there, but he'll get it. Oops. All right, Tony, if you're listening, that was a great timing, great check-in. That's what happens when you're in net control. It's an X in the square like Tony is. You know when to jump in to net control and get yourself checked in. Thanks, Tony, up in Corscoll. I will try. I will try my best to get into the Friday morning net. It's just been a little bit of a struggle just due to my wacky schedule here, but I know you guys are there, and I will give it a shot. Let's go over to 147. Oh, 147. Neil checked in earlier. I got him okay, no problem. Oh, you know what? I neglected to check the Friday questions from Tony's Friday Morning Net. All right, what we have is number one. What is the fewest number of diodes needed to implement a full wave power rectifier? A full wave. I thought it was 4. Isn't it 4 of them, or is it 2 of them? The fewest number of diodes needed to implement a full wave power rectifier. All right. Well, the answer is a 2-diode circuit is able to provide full rectification when used with a center tapped transformer. Wasn't that cheating? That was just diodes. Okay. Well, if you put a transformer, then you just need half of it, right? So anyway, 2 diodes is the fewest number to implement a full wave power rectifier if you have that center tapped transformer. Okay. Give me a 50% on that one. And question number 2, what was the Dow Key Company famous for? I know that one. And were I to look at these questions in advance, I would be able to bring up a Dow Key, because I have one here. I have a couple of them. Looks like an a female SO 239 PL259 connector with a relay stuck on it, and then some wires coming out to send a voltage. A Dow Key. Answer: in the world of amateur radio, a Dow Key almost invariably means an external TR switch. Now, we'll check with Harvey on how the Brownings and who else? Demcos. I know they didn't use an external Dow Key, but they had something inside, probably very similar to a Dow Key relay. Maybe they did. It was just inside. I didn't want it sticking out the back. All right. As always, Tony, good questions. Ones that I actually knew the answers to this time. That's very unusual for me. SWL 188. And I did get... Let me get Neil checked in. I did get Bobby checked in earlier because he stopped by. So Mr. Snow Beast is in. SWL 195, the Course Gold Starliner. Jim is in early, listening in. And Mr. Shockwave, SWL 226. Nothing there. All right, anybody else? Anybody else needing to check in or re-up something?
109 Crawdad with a late check-in.
Hey, not a problem. All right, I checked you in because I figured you might be busy with your, I don't know what costume you would have, but out at the Halloween party. But you have found the Citizen Band microphonium, and we are checking you in over.
Well, I don't got a costume this year, but your costume sure does look good.
Yeah, it fits. It fits. So they made me wear it, and there's more to it. But that's the best I can do on such short notice. Thanks for checking in.
All right. Thank you, Dennis. Have a good evening.
All right. Crawdad up in Albury, beaconing not only the entire Central Valley, but I'm sure he's probably hitting the coastal mountains as well with that great station. And were there to be skipped, it was all of a sudden, I just heard a voice on 11 meters. All right, that is it. I'm going to get the radio items fired up here. Somebody asking, what happened to the pumpkin? I don't know what happened to the pumpkin. They're either hiding it from me, or it has been secreted in a spot somewhere. I don't remember loaning it to somebody. Why would you loan, in the middle of March, you don't loan the pumpkin out to somebody. So I really don't know. I actually made an effort to look for aforementioned pumpkin, and I could not find it. The Old Tube Radio Network back in a moment with your radio check-ins. And who was it? Yes, Foxman. The costume was custom made. I had to dye the shirt yellow, and then I had to physically draw the red lines onto it. And I have a very good costume maker that I know, and she came up with all the rest. But Yeah, it was a labor of love to look like some some character in a movie I probably will never see. The Old 2 Radio Network back, and we will be checking in your radios. Do not go away. Over. Okay. I agree with that statement. The Old 2 Radio Network.
You may not find us on your TV because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by OTR. Brought to you by 27.05 megahertz. Brought to you by RADI. The Old 2 Radio Network.
Kind of if you're listening on the Universal Media Network, kind of a nice stereo effect or something on the Jingle Singers tonight. Are we in? Yeah, we're in. The Old 2 Radio Network. It is Tube Radio time, so let me get rid of the numbers there, and I think I will be ready to listen in and check in any and all stations. OTR standing by.
20, 20, 20.
135, 135.
All right, 2 heard. I heard 20, 20, 20, which would actually be 60. But I do believe it was just 20. 135, step into the green room, grab some candy corn. Funny, so now that'll make me sick. Grab some candy corn, we will pick you up in a moment. But stepping up into the air chair now at, man, is it 9:20 already here on the West Coast? Mr. Harvey, almost on the west side, and you are sounding good. Harvey, take a transmission with whatever radio you have, and we will discuss such manner. Over.
Okay. Number 20 here. Checking in a Tram Titan. This is a recent pickup, and it's already sold. Anyway, Tram Titan, this is in very, very good shape. 23-channel transmit, crystal transmit, 23-channel tunable receive, and not a bad looking radio. I'm running a amplified D104, but it's turned all the way off because I didn't have an unamp D104 with a plug on it to fit this. This one had the plug on it. I had to rewire the plug slightly, But anyway, Cliff said the the super sidekick I had on it was too bassy. So this is a D104. Anyway, it's in real good shape, and that's about it, I guess. Looks real good. How many times can I say that? It's got a zillion tubes, I think 12, and that's about it.
Well, that is enough. It sounds very good. Super clear audio. I mean, you know, the Brownings have nice punchy audio, but this actually has a little bit of, you know, lower frequency fidelity to it. A great looking radio. We're using Cliff's photo of his Tram Titan. The Tram Titan, now riddle me this. That is the one, it is AM only, is that correct?
Roger, AM only. This radio is totally stock. I've had to do a little work on it. The person that had it, I believe, had it for 22 years, and he got it off eBay, because I have the receipt that the eBay seller sent with it, all dated, with the price, etc., etc. This radio is from around the mid-60s. It's in Sam's book number 13, and that's dated April of 67. So I figure the radio came out a little earlier than that. Anyway, yeah, AM only, but nice big meter, and nice big speaker. The radio is, I would say, in 9.5 out of 10 cosmetic condition. Inside, top and bottom, the cabinet, the front, everything looks really nice.
Looks good, sounds good. This was the radio that came out after the TRC-27E. And Titan 1 was all steel, all tube chassis, okay, AM only, with great transmit and receive Collins mechanical filter in the front end. So were you to look down in the top where you see the mechanical filter should be a metal kind of round cylinder looking thing, right?
Rectangular type Collins mechanical filter. By the way, there's a common little thing done to up the power. This is doing, let's see here, 4 swinging to about 13, 14, with the D104 turned all the way down. Now, when you up the power, you get about 7 swinging to about 17, but the percentage, the modulation percentages, drops down to 115%. Yep, it goes over 100%. It drops to 115. When it's stock, running 4 watts, swinging to 14, the percentage of modulation, and I double-checked this, goes all the way past 100%, all the way to the end, and pegs the needle, bounces off. So this thing's got one heck of a bit of modulation. The audio out tube, the audio amp tube is a 6AU6, which is kind of odd, but the modulator is a 6. Back to you.
Oh, he caught me doing the zero beat thing. Looks like you're 270848. Somewhere there, very close to being on frequency. Great audio. It just doesn't sound flat topping. It doesn't sound distorted. I can't imagine pushing it anymore. You wouldn't. You've got, like you said, you've got enough like 105, 110% modulation. Don't know. Got some asymmetrical things going on. The meter, that is the same. I believe that's the same meter that is populating the TR27E. It's a really cool, nice meter. Rack handles all. Why did they sprout rack handles? All of like the General Ready telephone series, and it looks good anywhere. There are before you go. There are 3 lights. There's 2 lights. There's a switch under the meter. Let me go to the close-up here. I'm going to say that's your spot switch, maybe. And then there's 2 lights on between the speaker and the receive tuning dial. What are the 2 lights doing for you?
The top light's the mod light. Works fine. The one below it is the transmit indicator. And the only oddball thing that takes away from it, maybe, is the multiple function switch on the back that switches between several things. Power output, antenna reading, S meter, etc. But when you have it in the S meter position, when you key up, the needle drops to the bottom, but when you talk, it acts as a modulation meter, which I wasn't familiar with, but it does it. Anyway, and then you have an SWR bridge, etc. in there. And as I said, power output position for the meter. Well, and it does work, and it's fairly accurate on dead key. Anyway, this radio is sold. I picked it up along with some others, which I won't mention at this time. Next week will be a new edition, and I'll have 1 or 2 of the recently picked up radios. Anyway, I happened to mention this to the person, and they said, "Oh, I've always wanted one." Okay. So I got it on the bench and done what I needed to do. Not much, because it hasn't been used that much, but parts do get old just sitting around. Anyway, so there you go. A Tram Titan from around 65 to 1965, around 67, something like that. D104 amplified mic turned all the way down. I suggest an unamped D104 with it. Okay, back to you, Dennis. Thank you, and thank you, Cliff.
All right, I'm thinking that would sound good with the rack of audio gear around here. Getting a lot of good comments on the audio and the nice-looking radio from the shortwave listeners tuning in tonight. At old2radio.com, it says there's an operator manual, Tram Titan instruction manual PDF. So were you wanting to know what all the various knobs are doing? 23-channel variable receive, all 20 channels, and a crystal controlled transmit on the kind of their typical little tiny dial that you need to look at. Front throw speakers, I imagine the receive audio sounds pretty good, and you're listening to some good tube audio on the receive as well as tube audio on the transmit. And we have I don't have any dates when it was manufactured, but if you're doing the microphone, 1 is audio, 2 is shield, 3 is receive, and 4 is transmit. Wait a minute. Receive and transmit, is that electronic switching?
Relay switching. 3 and 2 are both ground and inside the radio. 2 and 3 are ground. 1 is mic, and 1, 2, 3. 4 is key up. Something interesting about the radio. Sam's Photo Fact has a picture, has the radio, those 13. You look down where the tubes are, and you look at the layout of parts, and you find that this particular radio is a little different. The spot meter balance control is in a different spot on the chassis. So I go, oh, interesting. Then, let's see, where is it here? Oh, the meter amplifier tube, the meter tube, which the meter didn't work in this radio, is supposed to be a 12AT7, according to Sam's Photo Fact, the listing of parts listing where they list the tubes, 12AT7. But then you look at the Sam's schematic, and it shows a 12AX7. Oh, well, I pulled the tube out and went to test it, but I learned to look at the tube for the number before I test, and lo and behold, it was a 6BR8. I went, huh? And sure enough, that's the only tube that'll work in there. 12AT7 won't. Well, Tram put a schematic in with their manual, and in that schematic, it shows the 6BR8. So fortunately, using that schematic, I could test parts around it, because the SAM schematic doesn't work. So anybody working on a tram with the SAM schematic better double check what tube's in there. Okay, sorry it took so long. Thank you, Dennis and Cliff.
All right, thank you, Cliff. We will get to you shortly. I want to get Cliff up here because he's eating a lot of the candy corn. I don't want him to get sick. I'm waiting for us to get to him. One more little thing, 25 words or less. There is a crystal sticking out underneath the S-meter, a spot for a crystal. So is that, since you have a tunable receive, does that crystal, you can switch to it for receive? So you'd have a crystal control receiver as an instant switch to it. I don't know why you would have dual things, but switch to it for transmit. Anyway, what does that crystal do? Is it a receive fixed or a transmit fixed?
It's a receive fixed crystal. They put it underneath the bottom where you can't get to it unless you pull it out of the cabinet.
Oh, all right. Well, I see it is sticking out of the cabinet in the picture we have here underneath. All right. Well, that makes sense because you've got a 23 channel receive. So instead of dialing back down to channel 11 on your old tube radio night, you just flip the, I guess you go to channel 11 transmit. You got to be crystal controlled transmit according to the FCC, and then flip on the receive extol or whatever they call it, and you are good to go. No dialing your dial and trying to spot the thing in. Radio number 1 starting off tonight, sounding really nice. Like I said, I'm along with everybody else giving you compliments on the audio, not distorted, very loud. It doesn't sound like it's compressed. This is before the FCC had you build in limiters and compressors so that you wouldn't sound like that, because people would, get a little bit rambunctious with their amplified microphone. It's perfect audio, like you said, 115% asymmetrical, whatever you. Harvey on the Tram Titan, sounding good. Thank you, sir. And Cliff, you can walk up and jump into the air chair. It is that time.
Okay. Hello.
Hello, radio.
Okay, let's see, SWL 135. Here on a radio from Chicago, Illinois. And what was his name? Bill Halligan, Big Bill Halligan at the Hallicrafters. This is the Hallicrafters CB1. First one, first CB, I think, for the Hallicrafters company. Back to you.
Back to me in their studio. A really unique radio, I think 1959, so the companies, especially the ones that are coming from amateur radio, that are already producing radios and trying to figure out, the FCC has just done a very unpopular thing by taking 11 meters away from the amateurs. And do we really want to, rub salt into the thing and do a CB? But they did, Hallicrafters, and they repurposed. Anybody that's a Hallicrafters person knows, it's like, I know that case. That's off of a keyer, or that's off as a speaker or something. So it was get on the air, get something out there to get the market going. Sounds good. We'll put up the full picture, and the picture we're showing, I believe, is going to be from your collection. Yes, that is your Let me get the right picture. Yeah, Hallicrafters from the collection of Cliff. He is operating it to show the magic eye. There's a push-to-talk bar, which he will tell us about how that works. And that is a microphone. That's not a camera up on the top. That's the actual microphone, and he might actually be using that as well. Back to you.
Yeah, that's why this radio sounds the way it does. I'm using the original microphone, little square plastic Hallicrafters microphone. Incidentally, yeah, it is the original. If you've got a copy of Sam's CB1, you'll see it in there. It's a spooky radio. Yeah, there are 11 tubes, but only one transmit and receive channel. And one of those tubes, of course, is the 6E5 Magic Eye tube, which is doing its job right now. It looks like it's working, but you'll have to be the judge of that.
It's working fine. The audio has an interesting sound, and I think you pegged it. That microphone could have a little bit, I don't know if that's a crystal, if it's a dynamic ceramic, but I think that's definitely flavoring your sound a little bit. It looks as though it's not an easy thing to change as it's wired back into the back side of the radio. Again, this was to get something on the market. It didn't have to have an S meter. The CB radio was based in mobile communications, and that is something I'm going to research here. If it actually runs, no, this runs 115 volt AC. So in theory, you would need either a mobile version, which I'm not sure Hallicrafters had, or they thought, the intrastation communications, that's you license your stations. Those two stations have a different license, especially if you're going to be running some type of a business or something. We'd be talking to two different buildings or between buildings. You could use this radio, get a couple of these things. Got the tube complement. Yeah, it's got a rectifier tube, even a 5Y3 GT. So I'm going to say it seems like this would have been one of the 7 tube radios, but it's got the rectifier tube. It's got the 6E5 for the mod indicator, so that adds 2 more. And I'm not sure where we get the couple of other items. First IF, second IF detector, noise limiter, 6AL5, speech amp. It's all 6 volt tubes. So I'm surprised they didn't have a possible, maybe they did, a possible 6 volt version or a way to put it in your car over it.
Yeah, well, earlier you were mentioning kind of compressed kind of sound, and I wonder if that isn't due to the 5Y3. Sometimes rectifiers sag, at the top of the power peak, so maybe that's it. Oh, and the microphone incidentally is made by Shure Brothers, and it is a crystal cartridge in there. So it's a crystal microphone. And I think you got all the other tubes right in there.
Yeah, actually, I'm cheating because I have the little display. CB1, page 59, 1959, the CB1 little phone. That's the first little phone. It was kind of big, but that's the first little phone. And any Hallicrafters fans, look at I think it's a Kier, one of their Hallicrafters Kiers from the late 50s, 60s. It looks like they used the same case and put a 5-watt DC input transmitter. You say it's single channel, so, and like you mentioned, there's no place I don't see any channels. It's very simple. I mean, kind of one knob, on, off. Does it have a squelch somewhere?
Yes, and no meter. So sometimes it's tough to tell when you unkey. There's no meter for the receiver or anything like that, so I can't give you a signal report. In the back of the radio, where you'd never expect to see it, there is a little screwdriver control, and above it says squelch, and yeah, it does work. So you set the squelch, I guess, and then you forget it. There's also a mic gain control back there. Believe it or not, there's more controls and stuff on the back of the radio than there is in the front.
Well, again, you were supposed to kind of set it and forget it. It would sit on the table, and you would occasionally wander over and give your call and make a transmission to somebody. You weren't sitting there, in theory, for hobby communication. So it sounds like Hallicrafters wanted to get something on the market and says, let's put this together. We've got it. We don't need all these controls. Just get it out there, test the water, see if they sell, see if the CB thing is going to work. And it took them a while to get into the CB3A and the CB3, about 1962. So a couple more years, and I think they decided, yeah, we're going to keep doing this. They seem to be selling. No one's complaining. And so we can make it look more like a radio on the other versions. But a very, very rare radio, the push-to-talk bar, the light, and the Hallicrafters CB1. I hope we've got some stations listening, tuning in from the Chicagoland CB group. As you mentioned, Chicago, Illinois, back before Hallicrafters was sort of subsidiarized out to Northrop Grumman, or Northrop at the time, and their radio started to be made overseas. The plant in Chicago for Hallicrafters was producing the SX-110s, 111s, the SR-150s, the Hurricanes, the HT-37s, the 80-pound radios, which I have down on the floor here, doing a lot of great stuff. They made, William Halligan and the gang made televisions, early receivers. They did a lot of stuff for the military, the BC-610 radios, so a great company. And we are lucky that they wanted to delve into the 11-meter side and give us some cool radios, many of which get featured here, like this one on the old Tube Radio Network, thanks to our Tube Radio operators. Back to you, Cliff. And are you gentle on that push-to-talk bar? I mean, is that... I'm not going to say it looks flimsy, but it just looks like you would want to be very nice to it.
Does it? I would say just the opposite. It is built like a tank. And the springs are pretty tough, so you got to really lean on it. This is a two-piston radio. I got to hold the microphone in one hand, and I hit the push-to-talk bar with the other hand. And that piece of metal is thick and it's solid metal. And it's actually, you got to really push down on it to make it go.
And go it does. And Jim says, 97 says, high Z crystal communication audio. And that is that is the best way to describe it. But you want to see that magic eye move, and I bet it does. So it'd be interesting to see what kind of microphone you might actually work with that. Maybe one like Ed uses, the high Z was the electric voice microphone that he has. But I think keeping it standard, stock, just like a 1959 Lincoln Continental. You don't want to put stuff on that. You want to keep the big tail fins and the stuff that pokes you in the eye and the dashboard. You want to leave it alone. And Cliff has done just that. Did the quickie 0 beat, and I pressed the sideband, and you are right there. That thing, whatever crystal's in there, is still working good. Over.
Yeah. According to my meter, it's right on the money. I always wanted to call. I thought Hallicrafters should have called this the Cyclops, because I love the magic eye. And here in the dark, I am out here in the CB cabana, and out here in the dark, it's that single glowing eye right just to the left of the center of the radio gives it a Cyclopsian kind of attitude. Oh yeah, speaking of which, the moon, tonight's the full moon, is just above Jupiter, and this is the animal fattening moon. Thanks to our friends in Canada for giving me that information. It's a spooky night. Ooh, back to you.
Yeah, I was noticing we had a full moon earlier, and the sky is actually clear here in the Central Valley. So I looked up and I was seeing that was Jupiter, thank you, and something very bright next to the moon, and some other stuff around as well. So we got a nice, clear, cold evening, perhaps doing some moon bounce. Maybe they're hearing us who knows where as our signals bounce around out of the Central Valley of California and on the moon. Radio number 2 from Mr. Green Arrow, the Hallicrafters CB1. We are actually the pictures we were showing if you're at oldtuberadio.net or watching the video in the very radio that Cliff is using as the one we are looking at out of his collection. Thanks. Always a spooky and apropos transceiver. Yes, indeed. It's all in one box for a close to a Halloween OTR. Thanks.
Oh, thanks for letting me check it in. Yeah, this thing to me always seemed more like some sort of office communications kind of thing, you know, with the press bar and all that. It's just so different from all the other, two-board transistor CB type radios. It's almost more of an intercom kind of configuration. But it does the JOB, and thanks so much for letting me check it in this year. And we'll catch you next time. We're going to be doing this next week?
As far as I know, should be here next week, assuming I can get all this stuff to work simultaneously and at the same time. And I agree, Cliff. I would sure like to see if they even advertise this anywhere. All of these radios, I don't think they advertised them because they were a little scared of what was going on. But I think that's the way they would have shown it, as some type of office, intra-office communications between buildings or something like that, since I don't see, and I don't think they had a mobile unit at that time. I could be wrong. I'll have to check on that, but in theory, you would be buying something like this in a mobile unit for your licensed unit to base 1. But you, like we mentioned last week, channel 8 through, was it channel 14 or 15 were the channels to run intra-station. Sounding good on your old tube radio network.
Okay, yeah. I've never seen any advertising, and you know, it's the only Hallicrafters I've got that I have never found the manual for. Again, it is in Sam's number 1, but I've never seen the actual manual, or like you say, any advertising. So I have no idea what it used to cost, or anything like that. I'd love some more information.
As would I. On my little Rolodex, all I've got is a tube complement and the year and the CB PhotoFax, the PhotoFax CB1, the CB1 and the PhotoFax 1, but nothing else with an ad or a price or something like that. So I don't know. Maybe they didn't know about it. But Chicago, Illinois, from Hallicrafters Company, and there was many more 11-meter style items to follow. Sounding good, and it's getting some great comments from our listeners as well. Thanks for bringing it by. And then again, there were the jingle singers that actually said,
Channel 11, Fresno, California. Old Tube Radio.
They're a little weak. Yeah, they're not supposed to. They're not supposed to sing that yet. That's sort of the sign-off song, and they were a little weak. We'll have them step up to the microphone. The Old Tube Radio Network. We are standing by and listening for radio number 3.
37.
All right, I've got 37. You will be number 3, Chris. Step up into the air chair, but don't take a transmission just yet. Was there another station? All right, there's carrier there, but no audio. So don't go away. If you've got a radio, we will make sure that we get to you. But in the meantime, 37. Hello, Chris. Sounding good. Tell us what you got. Over.
Well, Dennis, I figured what the heck. I wanted to check in my general radio telephone, my Super MC11A. This is the 24-channel version of all those. And this one here is mine, and I run this here with a handheld stock microphone. Over.
Okay, we'll move up a couple of years. General radio telephone, the Super MC11A, one of their last, coming from beautiful downtown Burbank. Were I to have a tube complement on this, let me get the radio up on the screen and see if I've got a tube complement on. Yeah, I do. So unlike the radio we just heard, we pull out 2 tubes. This only has 9 tubes. But it's got a great sound. They mix in the mic preamp with the 12AX7. They figure out a way to get the modulator output tube to be an ECLL 800. They get rid of the rectifier tube. Still a lot of 6-volt tubes in there. And the basic, a basic transmitter. but configured a little bit in a different. And we go up to CB22. So 21 books later, we'll find this 9-tube 2-transistor CB radio in the book, or you can stay right here and listen to it on OTR. Take another transmission.
Yeah, sometimes that'd be the easier way, just stand by and listen, over.
Right. Well, see, being an SWL is a good thing.
Absolutely. I seem to think so anyway. But, yeah, I figured I'd at least get this in here and check it in while I could. Over.
All right. We are glad because or at least my goal as net control, at least as it's stated in my employment thing, is to check in as many radios as possible in the time allotted on a Saturday evening. So you've helped me achieve that goal. The Super MC11A, another great sounding tube radio. Before the limiters and compressors were necessary to keep people from sounding good. What's up with that?
No, I should have been out here way before now and started taking this thing back in. Haven't done it in a while. I've been lazy. I've been cutting trees down today here in the backyard, so I'm beat.
Oh, no. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it when you're 35 years old. When you're more than that, it takes its toll. I wanted to say, if you're still listening, Cliff, and thanks to Paul who chimed in over on the video chat, the CB1 11 tubes, new price in 1959, $129.95. So not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, there were probably some kit radios that were less expensive, and I'm sure there were a lot of radios that were more expensive. The radio that Chris is talking on, I think, went for just a little bit over $200 later, but that was a good price. That's a price that people could afford. That $199 to $159 on the standard radio. So very good. All right. Well, Chris, I'm actually glad that you're here, talking on the radio, not taking a nap.
Well, I need one. I got older last weekend. I turned 75.
All right, so you're twice that 35. So you're doing good. You're doing good out there chopping trees.
Well, I took two of them down out in the back. They were eating up all the soil, taking all the nutrients out, and I'm getting tired of the dust and the dog. And so his dog's bringing in more dirt than was outside, so cutting it all down to try to get some grass growing in it again.
All right, well, if you got good soil like I don't, then the grass is a good thing. It takes a lot of water. Well, everything takes a lot of water. So unless you want to look like you're in Palm Springs or the desert and you want to do some rocks, you got to make it nice for you while you are there. Radio number 3, the General Radio Telephone Super MC11A, sounding good as always, and we appreciate you bringing it by the old Tube Radio Network.
All right, Des. Thank you very much for being there. I want to get out of here, and I'll catch you next weekend.
All right. We will. We will be around. We should be around, and we will be around. Paul, thank you for the price check on the Hallicrafters. Also wanted to say hello to someone just jumped in. Oh, Alpha Kilo 295. Where's the Echo? I don't know. I don't think I have. Do I have Echo? I'm checking to see. No, you know, it wouldn't be Echo. It would be kind of a weird, yeah, there it is, sort of a Halloween effect going on, your old Tube Radio Network, but we don't. We don't do Echo here. Anyway, standing by, the Jingle Singers are going to try this again. We'll see what happens on your old Tube Radio Network.
27.085 megahertz, channel 11. OTR.
Still kind of funky.
Fresno, California. Radio Magic. Old Tube Radio. For you.
Listening for Radio 4. And Steve saying the rectifier diodes were bad in the Simba. Now it works. I have somewhere up on a shelf I have the Pierce. That's the big one with the clock and all the knobs. What was it? Early the mid 70s? Because it's 23 channel. A really nice top of the line radio. I have a Simba here, so I will keep that in mind were I to ever get mine in the radio position to fire up and see if it works. I think when I got it, it worked, but I haven't been on the air in a long time. Speaking about not being on the air in a long time, if you have a tube radio that you haven't checked in a while, there's still a couple of minutes before we sign off here, so if you can get it warmed up and find the Channel 11 selector switch portion, we will get it checked in. OTR listening. And I see the carrier. I hear the carrier, but there's no audio to go with it.
How about this? Is there audio now?
There is audio now, over.
How well do you hear me? Over.
All right, your signal is just under S7, which is a little less than normal, but we have a nice quiet frequently. And your audio isn't bad now that I hear it, over.
Okay, I'm going to try something. Hang on.
This is the try something frequency. Go right ahead.
Okay. Is this a little bit better?
Wow, it got a lot louder. There is a bit of a going on, but it definitely did get louder, over.
Well, if Cliff's Hallicrafter CB1 can have a hum, so can mine.
Wait a minute. Did you find your very own Cyclops radio, over?
Roger. My Hallicrafter CB1 with original hand mic.
Okay, it actually sounds a bit different than we were used to hearing with Cliff. So, and it's got the white. That's the white crystal type microphonium.
Yes, with Hallicrafters on the front.
Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, the Harvey range boost definitely makes it louder. Does bring a bit of a hum in, but I mean, it's sort of a night and day between the two items. But I could hear you without it, over.
Trying to push the button on the side of the mic doesn't help. There's no button. Yeah, you gotta use the push bar. Anyway, doing about 2 3/4. Hello. Over. Oh, I should talk this far away. Swing to about 4.5.
No, it sounds good. So that, I think, confirms that maybe the microphonium on Cliff's radio has seen better days, although it sounds just fine, but yours has a definite edge in the fidelity, I think.
Okay. And I haven't tuned this up. Just the way it came off. To get it down. And I just made it in time because I promised Cliff I would. Anyway, my magic eye, when I'm not talking is, you know, at, we'll say, about 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, or a little bit wider. And then when I talk, it closes.
All right, well, it sounds like it's got plenty of audio. It's not starving. And so sometimes on the Hallicrafters, if you try to push them too much, you'll get the flat topping. I know the CB3s did that. You only get about 95% audio before it starts flat topping. But I'm not hearing that with what you're doing. But then again, you're not amplifying it with excessive audio either. Over.
Well, I could, but no, I won't. There was thoughts of hooking up a D104 to this. But I decided against it. This works, and actually, there are a lot of these mics that look similar on eBay, and they're cheap because nobody wants them, because they don't, like, say, Hallicrafters, etc. on it. But if you get them and they work, you can always use the cartridge.
Yeah, and it's not a carbon. You can't pull something out of a telephone. It's got to be. And I bet there's a lot of tape recorders, that early 60s tape recorders that use that same style of microphone that would probably work on that. It just has to be, it has to be high Z, right?
Probably. This mic is two pieces and it's like glued together. So trying to take it apart might be a problem. So hopefully this stays good.
I think it will. And thanks for risking life and limb to bring it down and fire it up. But it warmed up well and is doing a good job. Over.
Roger. The squelch control is on the back. Don't you love it? Anyway, let's see, there's a switch on there. I don't know what the switch does. I might switch it and see.
Well, Cliff said something about switches and things, but whatever you're doing, it's good. You don't need to change anything.
Oh, there's a mic gain control on the back. Let me check, see where it is.
Really? All right.
Yeah, it goes all the way up. I lowered it. Did I go down?
Not noticeably. Over.
Say that again?
Not noticeably. Over. Maybe you found the squelch control. And are the Squamish guys around? I'm going to bring up the 27085 satellite link up at Squamish. Turn the audio up. So if you guys are out there on 085, give us a call here before we jump out.
Okay, it was the audio gain control. Anyway, I'm back, and hopefully I'm close on frequency, and that's it.
Okay, we've got you checked in for Ready 4, the Hallicrafters CB1. Frequency check puts you at 270846, so about 400 low, somewhere in that, you know. I'm not the super accurate thing, but it's about 350 to 400 low probably. So you're definitely in the ball game, and it sounds good. It's got nice audio. So that microphone has been well kept, and likewise the radio on channel 11.
Alrighty, I keep forgetting there's no button on this mic. Okay, I'll let you go. I'm going to hook up the other radio, because I've been running it, many hours, make sure it's okay, because it gets shipped on Monday. Alrighty, catch you next week. Oh, maybe. I'm working out of town, hopefully I'll be back. If not, proxy me in.
Okay, will do, and you always know oldtuberadio.net. You'll be able to tune in and not hear yourself. All right, very good. The jingle singers are getting ready to do their thing. I'm going to be counting and amounting. I want to, while I have a chance, and get back to the, what shot are we showing? We're showing the radio. Get back to the control room here and get checked in with Wild Wildemar jumping in the nick of time to get SWL 78 on the list tonight. There it is. And anybody else needing to check in, we're going to be jumping out of here in a minute. So we'll be right back after this message from our local sponsor.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, the friendliest station for you by far is known to all as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
the station for you is
OTR.
Station for you, OTR, and I don't hear the Squamish boys. They said they were going out for dinner and a little activity, so it sounds like they didn't make it back to the air chair tonight, which is not a problem. Let's see if I can hear myself. There we go. We got the volume control up. We're listening on the satellite link, and there are definitely no conditions. That is 27085 out of British Columbia tonight. Any other stations wanting to check in?
Well, if I don't do the Beagle, I'd be in trouble.
All right, well, got to do the Beagle. Channel 28 later in the day. All right, Dwayne's saying he'll be on 28 with all the big AM stations on the Robin. And if I can find my screen here, let me go back. And you've got the Browning Golden. Did you say you have the Beagle checking in over?
Roger, the Beagle. Go ahead and check it in, and I'll let you take care of business. Hopefully catch you next week.
Okay, hopefully they don't make you work too late and you will safely get back into the radio barn. I will add radio number 5 tonight as the Browning R68 R68 T68 combination, and as always, sounding good. You can't go wrong. Oh, Albert, okay, you're waving. Are you guys on the air? I turned the volume down on the link were I to be able to find it here. So I'll bring the volume back up. I'm at 27085. You guys might not be near the radio room. So if you aren't in the radio room, no problem. But I see you guys waving out there on the video stream. Counting and amounting. And still not getting, we should be getting, I would think, some of our late season E-skip coming in November, October. I believe that's when it happens. So never know when the band might open up. And it is that time.
Ladies and gentlemen, time now for the current OTR totals.
All right, the current, I guess this would be the current final totals. Back in the day, we used to give the totals as they went on to encourage people to check in, but no, everybody checks in now. They don't have to be encouraged to do that. Shortwave listeners, we are in, we're in week 3. We're in the 28th of October. So we had 20, that's it, the record was page 1. 20 on page 1, 16 on page 2, 17 on page 3, and 23 on page 4 for a total of 76 shortwave listeners checking in tonight. And the radios, drum roll please, the most heard manufacturer, Hallicrafters, with the CB1. And we could have had more. There's some CB3As out there and some other little phones. So hooray for Hallicrafters. I've got a couple lately. I've got one transmitter here sitting. I could have dialed that in, I think. Started with the Tram Titan from Harvey. That's going to be shipped off somewhere. Maybe we will hear that coming in on the skip. Sounded really good. Harvey, if you can, listen to the replay. You will be pleased. Great sounding radio. Radio number 2, Mr. Green Arrow, on the first of the series of Hallicrafters tonight, the CB1, the first little phone from 1959. Wouldn't that look great in the Plymouth Fury with those tail fins? It might even make it sound even better, get out a little bit farther. Radio number 3, the General Radio Telephone Super MC11A. Thanks, Chris, for jumping in, giving us what these radios sounded like. Somebody made a comment. It's like, we need to have more of these radios getting on the air. I agree. They sound good. The audio is good. Sometimes I go down to Channel 6 and I think, come on. You're going to be loud, but you can make your audio better than that. They should be on radios like we're hearing tonight. Hallicrafters CB1 from Harvey for Radio 4, and then he came in just moments ago on the Golden Beagle R68 T68 from Browning. All right, I will leave you, and I think it is possible to do that. Yes, I will leave you tonight, the last night of the year that we can do this, with the Espresso Trucking Company and their encore presentation of a song that, a tune that will only be heard right here on the Old Tube Radio Network. We will catch you next week. Thanks for listening, and stay on the air, won't you? The Old Tube Radio Network.
I was working in DX late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight, for my SWR began to rise. Suddenly, before my eyes, there was a monster crash. A monster crash. Things went up in a flash. There was a crash. It blew out the sash. Shackers trash. Gonna cost lots of cash. From the lavatory in the bedroom east to the family room where the teenagers feast. The family were jolted from their humble abodes by static discharge from my tube electrodes. It was a monster crash. A monster crash. They ran a 50-yard dash. It was a crash. Blood broke out in a rash. Shackers trash. Gonna cost lots of cash. The relays were sparking tons. The magic smoke had just begun. I fumbled for the kill switch. Turned around to run. The shack was rocking, it was making strange sounds. My tower started twisting, then dropped to the ground. The fire department was about to arrive, with sirens wailing as they entered the drive. They heard a monster crash. A monster crash. They backed off in a flash. It was a crash. Scrambled out in a dash. Shack is trash. I'm gonna cost wads of cash. Out from the wreckage, my cell phone did ring. My neighbor, he was troubled by just one thing. He heard all the noise, raised his voice and said, "Keep it down, you fiend, I'm trying to go to bed." He heard a monster crash. A monster crash. I said, "I'll show you my lash." He hung up in a rash. Shared his trash. I'm gonna cost wads of cash. Everything's cool. I'm back upon the band. My monster crash is legend all across the land. For SWLs are listening, this tale is meant to forget to ground your gear and it'll cost you. You hear a monster crash. A monster crash. Things blow up in a flash. There'll be a crash. You'll run off in a dash. Shack is trash. Gonna cost lots of cash. Easy boys, you impetuous old man.
Good night.
Hey, I just realized there's no push bar on this tram. Oh, I have to actually key the mic.
So the tragedy.
Yeah, well, you know, when you get old, that's what happens.
Yeah, get yourself a flip switch.
Yeah, the only problem is I'd have to put the mic on this B104 laying on the floor and barely get my foot up enough to do it. It would be easier if I could just yell into my foot.
Oh, but maybe sharpening out the finger would be
Well, my cat actually talks to me, so, I'll ask her if she wants to get on the radio.
I don't know, I got my lead local daughter that's talking to me.